a period chat about Max Verstappen because he is now a 4-time F1 world champion, joining Hamilton, Schumacher, Fangio, Vettel and Prost as the only drivers to win 4 or more championships. And he joins all of those drivers, except for Prost, as the only drivers to win 4 championships in a row. Last year, Max showed what he can do when he's got the best car. He proved just how much he can dominate when the car is just that good. But this year's he's shown that he can come out on top even when he doesn't have the best car all year. Red Bull definitely started the year with the best car, but for a solid amount of this season, while it's been typically pretty close to the top performance-wise, Red Bull have not had the best car performance-wise. What they have had though is the ability to execute everything else correctly, most of the time. Like making the right strategic decisions to put themselves in the right place at the right time, like say Brazil. Say making the correct calls on the weather and on staying out longer and getting lucky with that red flag coming out, arguably, yes, but still, they made the right calls to put themselves in that position to benefit from it. And they've also had Max himself, who is able to drive around the car's issues to still put out the best result he can get with that car on that day. And he doesn't really make any big errors. He has, some mistakes or just some not great moments. I mean, everyone does, for Max, Mexico comes to mind. But the point being, his quote-unquote bad days have been finishing somewhere between 4th and 6th. And you'll often hear it said in F2 that when trying to mount a title challenge there, you want your bad days to be finishing around that P4 to P6 region. And honestly, the same goes for mounting a challenge for an F1 championship. Because if you're finishing somewhere between P4 and P6, yes, if your rival finishes, say, P1 or P2, you're still losing a solid amount of points to them, but you're still scoring, either 8 points, 10 points, or 12 points. It's still a good amount of points. He's also really silenced anybody who said that, he can only win titles or whatever with the fastest car. Because sure, he's had the best car back at the start of the season, as I said, and a few times since, the Red Bull has been the best car, but overall, more often this season, the RB20 has not been the best car, but yet Max is still the one to come out on top because 1, he got the results when he did consistently hit the best car, but 2, when he didn't hit the best car, he still maximized what he could get. As I was just saying, and also as I was just saying, with his bad days being somewhere between 4th and 6th. Now, yes, should be said, has Max also gotten lucky this year a little bit with McLaren effing up and bottling so much? Yes. However, that's part of racing. Luck has always been and will always be part of the sport. But overall, Verstappen's title win this year, it kind of reminds me of Button's title charge in 2009. Button back in 2009 won 6 of the first season races, and then after that he did not win another race that year. In fact, he only had 2 more podiums that year. All of his other finishes, he finished all the other races, he finished all but one where he retired, and he finished with somewhere between 5th and 8th, and he won the title with 1 race remaining. Max this year, meanwhile, won 7 of the first 10 races, and since then he has won 1 mare with that amazing drive in Brazil, and he has had 4 mare podiums in addition, but it still kind of just reminds me a bit of Button in 2009, of things kind of seemingly coming apart, not quite having the car, but still coming on top and with time to spare in the season. Max's best title yet? Well, you could argue it is, given how competitive it is at the front this year. I mean, for the love of God, we have had 7 different drivers winning multiple races this year, and that is the first time that has ever happened. It has been crazy competitive at the front this year, which I don't think anybody could have seen coming. But Max still came out on top, which kind of just proves how good he is, really. But, at the same time, you could make a case for his first title in 2021 being his best because, well, Exhibit 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton was his rival. But look, either way, Verstappen deserves the championship this year. He's been brilliant. He's had his low moments, he's had his mistakes, yes, but overall, he's been amazing. As he tends to be, we know how good Max is. He has further proven that. It is a tad funny though, because while he hasn't had it all his own way, he's had challenges, it still kind of felt inevitable that he would win the championship because, well, as the title of this video says, Max Verstappen is inevitable. So congratulations to Max Verstappen for joining the 4-time world champions club. He's really put his name alongside the greats now of this sport. Can he copy what Michael Schumacher did at Ferrari and win 5 in a row? And in the process become the first driver to win their first 5 titles in F1 in a row? Well, we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? A small note on the Constructors' Championship, still up for grabs, 24 points separating McLaren and Ferrari. It can be won in Qatar if McLaren outscore Ferrari by like 21 points, but I think it's heading to the last round. Unless Ferrari seriously screw up, which, let's be fair, it kind of wouldn't surprise me. But I tell you what, if I'm McLaren, I'm glad that Ferrari lost 12 to 15 points in Baku to Checo and Sainz playing Wreckfest on the last lap, and the points they lost from their mid-run from Canada to Silverstone where they had some not great races. Because if they didn't, even if it was just Baku, there wasn't that crash there, if they say they lost 15 points in Baku, if they had scored those like 15 points, say they're going to 2-3, then Ferrari would only be 9 points behind McLaren right now. So if I'm McLaren, I'm glad that Ferrari has made some mistakes in the middle of the year. McLaren's made their mistakes as well. Arguably, they should be a lot farther ahead than constructors than they are, but whatever. I still can't help but feel like McLaren will hold on. I'm hoping for Ferrari to somehow be able to overhaul them. I mean, Ferrari fan over here and all, but I feel like they'll finish in the order they're in now, and the same goes for the fight for second between Norris and Leclerc. One final note on a few things on Vegas. Holy shit, Checo, what a move. I feel like pissed off is an understatement to describe Leclerc at the end of the race. I really feel for Williams. They cannot catch a break. And with a season crash list like this, as this reply says, Williams will definitely be the Destructors Championship Constructors Champions. And if Albon crashes anymore in the last 2 races, they might take the Drivers Destructors Championship as well, because he's not far behind Checo. And Mercedes, where the bloody hell have you lot been? Anyway, what's your thoughts on things? Let me get your thoughts and do it in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.